Today we are going to look at the solar panel series connection or series configurations. Here we are going to do, before we do anything, before we connect our solar panels, we need to know how we connect the solar panels, like series or parallel or series parallel. There are three connections: series connection, parallel connection, then series parallel. Now today let's first see the series connection. What is the use of the series connection? How do you determine that you need to do a series connection in solar panels? We are at the end of solar panel lessons. We are ending solar panels. Let me expect that you have now much about the solar, the fundamentals, how it is made, the cells, and its connections. Now we want to see, if you bring it on the roof, do you connect it in series or you connect it in parallel? Okay? Because a lot of technicians, you may not know that you need to connect a panel in parallel or to connect them in series. Let us see why we need to connect in series. Okay? Connection in series, our solar panels. Let's go in deep into it. Let's have our solar panel here. This is a symbol for solar panel. It has positive and negative. Another panel here, a symbol for positive, negative. Then another panel here. Positive, negative. Okay? These are our three panels, A, B, and C. Let's see how we can connect these panels in series. Okay? Now you're on a roof with your panels facing you. Okay? You want to connect them to the series connection. Remember, when you're connecting this series connection, the first thing you should know is what is your charge controller. You need to read the charge controller, the ratings, and see if they will configure with the series connection or with the parallel connection, which we shall see after this. Some of the charge controllers, they use parallel. They will need parallel connection when you don't need a series connection. Before you do a series connection, what do you need to know first? What you need to know first is, am I supposed to do a series connection? Why am I calling to connect these panels in series? That's the first question as a technician you need to know, or electrician. What is my interest? What is my interest to connect in a series connection? Okay? Or what is my interest to connect in parallel? But this right now, we are looking in the series connection. What do you need to know in your mind, back on your mind? What is the exact logic behind the series connection? The first thing is to know if you are connecting, if you need voltages. Yeah, if you need the voltages, it will call you to connect the series connection. If you don't need current. Remember, I told you these things, the voltage and current, are too crucial to electricians and technicians or anyone repairing. Do not play with current or voltages. Sometimes we can play with voltages and we mismind about the current. But current is very, very crucial to someone being shocked electrically. Okay? Let me give you an example before we go deep into these panels. Let me give you a clue or some knowledge about the voltage and current here combination. Okay, when you see volts, then current mostly measured in amps, get note of these two things. Sometimes they move with power. Okay, technicians, even they know, even these people who have not gone for electrical or technical work, get to know when you're buying things. A lot of people jump to power. Yes, our customers, they normally look at power. That machine consumes how many power ratage. The power is in watts. In watts, okay? Before we come to, I'm going to explain this, but I want to show you why we need series connection. But I'm giving you an example about the voltage, ampere, and the power. A lot of people in market, they jump only on the what? On the power. That my panel, how many powers or how many watts? Yes, that's the normal one. But how many watts? That it is 100 watts. Yes, someone will tell you, I want a panel of 100 watts. Is it going to know what is the current? Oh, what is the voltage? These things, the current and the voltage, they are the one to give you a regulator or the battery. Though power combines these two. As we know, power is IV, whereby I is the amperes or the current and V is the voltage. Then you get your power, which is okay. But a technician, you can't just jump on 100 watts. You need to know to find this 100 watts. Oh, how did the power came to be 100? How many amps are in the 100 watt? How many voltages are in the 100 watts? Now here calls a technician. Here you come as a technician. You need to know how many volts that panel is going to work on. Oh, how many amperes do I need from that panel? Okay, now we are called a technician. In 100 watts, let's say we may have a 20 volts, and we have this is volts, and we have 5 amps. Okay, to get this, we go to the formula of power. Current times voltage, which current is 5 times 20 equals 100. Now a technician will know. A technician here will know that I have my 20 volts of the panel. It will be producing 20 volts. Then it will give me 5 amps, which it will give you 100 watts. Now a lot of people, they conclude on watts, but a technician, I advise you, first check on these things. Check on the amps when buying or installing, so that you calculate all your system so that it functions very well, all the performance. Okay, let's go back to our series connection. I was giving you a bit of small knowledge about the power. Now, when you're looking at the series connection, we need voltages. Just note this. When you're doing the series connection, we need voltages. If this is, because every panel moves with, if it has volts, it has the current, it has the watts. Let's say this moves with 20 volts, 5 amps, then watts, let it be 100 watts. 20 volts, 5 amps, 100 watts. 20 volts, 5 amps, this is 100 watts. Okay? Now this panel has 20 volts, 5 amps, and 100 watt. The same time, they said our panel B, it has 20 volts, 5 amps, 100 watts. Panel C has 20 volts, 5 amps, 100 watts. Now we want to connect them in series. What do we want if we connect them in series? We are looking for the voltage to be high. As we say that in series connection, the voltage is added on, or the voltage increases. What am I meaning? I'm meaning this 20 volts plus 40 plus 20, 20 plus 20 plus 20, which will give you 60 volts. In series, you connect, you add on the voltages. Voltages are increased in series. That is the point everyone should know. In series, the voltages increases. Let us see. 20 plus 20 plus 20, which will give us, this is 60 volts. Panel A, panel B, panel C, which will give us our total of 60 volts. Now, how do we get the 60 volts? We get our initial point, which is the positive point. Don't connect that point. Leave it hanging. This is our positive. Okay? Now we want to add 20 with this panel. The connection, the positive point we have left it, we want to connect the negative point of this panel A. Negative point of panel A will be connected to the positive point or terminal of panel B. Like this. Okay? This. Now we have got a positive end and a negative end here. Okay? Now this is 20. According to our size of the panel, the voltage size. These two are 20. We have positive and negative. The negative here, it is connected with the second positive. The same thing is done. The negative, again, you connect it to the positive terminal of panel C. Yes, of panel C. Then here we shall have our negative terminal. Now we have a positive terminal and a negative terminal. If it is a battery, we connect the battery terminal negative, and here we connect the battery terminal of positive. But in solar, we don't connect direct to the battery. We connect to the charge controller or a charge regulator, which is the heart of the system. We shall come there after finishing our panels. Here, if you measure here and here, you will have your 60 volts. Okay? If you measure here and here, when you have connected negative, positive, then your negative will be the last. Then you have your positive here. You will have your 60 volts. Here will automatically give you the 60 volts. It is like connecting the bulbs. Let's say how to connect the bulbs. If you have these incandescent lamps, the bulbs. I'm giving an example. This is our bulb. Bulb 1, bulb 2, bulb 3. If the way you connect the bulbs, this is your source of power. Okay, you'll connect here live. This is the live wire. You connect live here. Again, the live here. Another wire which is remaining, you connect to the another bulb. Another wire which is remaining to the connect another bulb. The last wire, you bring it to the neutral. This is the series connection. The series connection. And the problem of this series connection, the biggest problem, when this is live, this is neutral. When the bulb in the middle, okay, or blows. Let's try to say, let's think to say the bulb in the middle blows. When it blows, what happened? This bulb has blown. You see the gap? You see the gap? There is no connection. It means this bulb will not light. And this bulb will not light because the connection is broken. And this bulb also, it is not complete. Okay? It is looking for neutral to light. This one is looking for live to light. It means one bulb only. It will affect all system. This comes back to our system here. That if one panel in series, that's the biggest disadvantage in series connection. That if one of these panel is damaged, as I have explained to you here, if it is there, the system will work. The bulbs will light. If this bulb blows, the system will not light. The same applies here. If one panel is having a shade, or it is damaged, or it has got some weaknesses, it is not bringing power well. If this panel brings power to this one, the power will pass here. When to find this panel B, when it is broken, or it is faulty, or it is weak, or there is a shade on it, or a tree is on top of it, there is a shade, or anything, power will reduce. And the power which goes to come here will be reduced and it will be affected. This panel will be affected because its positive terminal of this panel, it will see the positive terminal from this side. It is having negative. It means it will not charge the battery when this panel B is faulty, or when this panel A is faulty. Any panel in series, when any panel is faulty or damaged, or it experiences a shade on it, the system it will not function as we expected. Its performance or efficiency will reduce. Whereas in parallel connection, which we shall see, even though the system or one panel gets a faulty, the system will remain working. Okay? Just because here we need connect in series. When this panel gets a fault, voltage, all this voltage will have effect, and also this panel remaining will have an effect because it is not getting the flow of current very well. As you know, the flow of current from one point to another. When you remove this, it means this is going to be in open circuit. Okay? Now, our aim, let's go back. Our aim of a series connection is to increase voltages, and the current will remain constant or the same. Voltages will increase. Current, which is amps, current will be, Sorry about this. Current will remain the same. Okay? Now, let's say the definition which you can say that in a series connection, the voltages increases as we have seen here, but the current will remain 5 amps. Voltage is 60, but the current will remain 5 amps. Current here, every panel has 20 volts, 5 amps, 100 watts. The same with this, 5 amps, 5 amps, 5 amps. The current will be the same. It will not change in a series connection, but the voltages will change. The voltage will add on. 20 plus 20, that is 40, plus 20, that is 60. It means our panel, when connected in series, will produce 60 volts. But we shall take the last amps of the panel. You must note this. You look at all the panels and you take the last amperes. Like if this is 2, let me give you also this knowledge and to help you. What I'm saying on the amps, when calculating, you look at the lowest ampere. The panel which is having the lowest amps is the one you take, and it is the one which you will see on the meter when you measure. When you measure here and here, when you're measuring amps, let's change the amps. Okay, let us say this is 5 amps, this is 4 amps, this is 10 amps. Okay, now to know the current when measuring in series, the current doesn't change, but the voltages changes. The voltages increases, but the current remain constant. Which constant? It picks the least amps. A panel with the least amps is the one which will measure on your meter. You look at all meters. This panel has 5 amps. This panel B has 4 amps. Panel C has 10 amps. Which is, when you measure here and here, the meter will look at the lowest panel with the lowest amps. Which is here? Which one is here? We have 5, we have 4, we have 10. Which is the lowest amps? It is 4. And your meter will show you 4 amps. Or when you're calculating, to get the power, you use the 4 amps. Do not use the maximum power or the mid one, but use the last or the lowest amps. Here, when you want to get the power of this, you use the least amps, which is 4 amps. And in series, our aim is to get the high voltages. If we find your system when you need high voltages, make sure you connect in series. If you want to increase the current to work in your system, make sure you use the parallel. In series, the voltages increases and current remains constant. While in parallel, the current increases while the voltages remain constant, as we shall see in the our next video. Now this is the series connection, which I wanted you to know. When you're installing your panel and your aim is to increase voltages. voltages increases in series. The voltages increases in series connection. Our aim to increase the voltages, and current remain constant. Current remain constant. Which constant? It looks for the lowest current, which is 4, not 5, not 10, but 4. For your function to work well, it look at the lowest current, which will remain constant. You can't add on in series. The flow of voltages increases, but current remain constant, and that is a series connection. We can have another way of seeing, and we shall see which is the best way to connect. Is it good to connect in series, or is good to connect in parallel? We shall see the difference. That's why I want you to be so crucial to every step we are taking. We are going slowly, but with a mentor, with a sharp and a bolt to know everything. We shall see that here voltages increases in series as current remains constant. As I said, if it is 5, 5, 5, the current will remain 5, but the voltages will be adding on. It will be in plus. The voltages adds on in series. And this is the series connection. Don't mix the aim. In series connection, we are aiming to increase the voltages. Okay? In series connection, we aim to increase the voltages. In parallel connection, we aim to increase the current. But in series, the voltages remain constant. Don't forget this. Whenever you're connecting your solar panels, don't forget this, please, that when I connect my panels in series, I'm going to increase the voltages. And the current will remain the same. Let me give you another technical knowledge about the voltages and current. Current and voltages, they move together. Do not play around voltages. You'll get shock, as everyone knows. But me, I say, do not play around with high currents. High currents is so dangerous than the voltages. I'll give you a comparison. Check on your battery. Have you ever seen or experienced about the batteries? If you keep your battery for 2 years without charging, the battery has 12 volts. Just I'm giving you a bit of knowledge about the current and volts. When you go and measure your voltages, it can give you 12 volts on the battery terminal, positive, negative. It will show you 12 volts. Now connect your bulb here. Your bulb will not light. Why? Because this battery has spent 2 years without charging. But if you measure, it will show you 12 volts. Listen. But why is it not lighting my 12 volt bulb? This bulb works on 12 volts. Because there are bulbs which work on 240 volts and 12 volts. But it is not working, but the meter is showing me there is 12 volts. Those years, people we had no meters, people used to short circuit the battery terminals. Wow. If you short circuit, if you see a spark, it means the battery is charged. Now this time the battery has stayed 2 years without being charged. When you measure, it will give you 12 volts, but your bulb will not work. Why? Because there is no current to flow in the cable. This is the current. The voltage is present, but the current is not there, so that your bulb will light. It will not light. Okay? When there is no current, but the voltage is there, the bulb will not light. I'm giving you the difference between these voltages and current. Do not play with current. Though they always say do not play with voltages, me, I suggest do not play with current, because where there is current, always there is voltages. And voltages is the pressure to push the flow of electrons, which electrons become to be the current. This is the pressure. And this is the experience, the small experience I can give you. Okay? When you charge your battery, the voltages will remain 12. When it is full, it comes to 13.7 volts. That is like 1 volt added on, or 1.7. The current will increase, let's say 5 amps. It was 0 amp. If you charge, it will increase and your bulb will light. Meaning, when there is voltages and there is no current, you may not be shocked. But when there is current, just no automatic, voltage is there to push the current for you to be shocked. That's why I say, don't play with current. You may play with voltages, but never play with current. Technicians and both engineers or field electricians, always look at the current. Yeah, and this is our series connection. Thank you for watching. The next video will be on the parallel connection. Then we see and we compare. Are we supposed to connect in parallel or in series? Which is good? Or we combined series and the parallel, so that our system will work on the same on the 2 or 3 principles: series connection, parallel connection, and series parallel connection. And the system will work very well. But we shall see which is best. Should I connect my panels in series or should I connect my panels in parallel? Which is good?